On this extra long episode, we have some fun critiquing the recent trend of Thailand action figures.
So if you've seen the memes or wonder what a doll created from Thai stereotypes looks like, you'll laugh at this episode of the Bangkok Podcast.
Sawadee krap, and welcome to the Bangkok Podcast. My name is Greg Jorgensen, a Canadian who came to Thailand in 2001 on a wee adventure, but in the ensuing years learned that the true adventure was in my heart the whole time.
For sure. And I met Knuth, an American who came to Thailand on a one-year teaching contract 24 years ago, fell in love with the idea that flip-flops are socially acceptable footwear for almost any occasion, so I never left.
True.
I'm a flip-flop guy. I like them.
Yeah. I tell you, years and years ago, I was showing some friends around town, and we wanted to stop at Sirocco at the top of State Tower. You know,
yeah. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, the dress code, right? So
Sure.
You have to wear no shorts.
You can't wear flip-flops there.
Right? No flip-flops. But one of the group had a pair of flip-flops on, and so we went up and were like, well, let's try it. So we went up, and sure enough, they were like, nope, you can't come in. And I said, all right, we'll figure something out. So everyone else went in. So me and this guy, we went downstairs and we got in a tuk-tuk and we bombed up to Patpong, and we bought a pair of black socks. And then he put the black socks on, and then he put the flip-flops on, like over on the black socks. His flip-flops were black, so they sort of blended together. So it looked like he was wearing
that's great.
shoes. And we went up again, and they didn't even look at his shoes. They didn't even notice. So
funny.
They're
quite strict there. So listeners out there, the top of State Tower, they're quite strict. It's one of the few places in Thailand you can't go with flip-flops.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. We want to give a big thanks to all of our patrons who support the show. Patrons get every episode a day early, behind-the-scenes photos of our interviews, a heads up to send questions to upcoming guests, and access to our Discord server to chat with me, Greg, and other listeners around the world. But best of all, patrons also get an unscripted, uncensored bonus episode every week where we riff on current events and Bangkok topics. On this week's bonus show, we chatted about my Songkran experience hiding inside from the water, Greg's Songkran experience in Shanghai, and some of the takeaways he had visiting mainland China for the first time, and discussions about using Google's new Gemini Live feature, which tells you what your camera is pointing at, as well as reads Thai text to you in Thai, which will hopefully be another tool that I can use to finally learn to speak Thai. To learn how to become a patron and get all this good stuff, plus full access to over 700 bonus and regular back episodes, click the support button at the top of our website.
Yeah, I got to check that out. You let me know if it's good for helping learn Thai, and I'll follow in your footsteps. Ride your coattails.
We'll do that.
And real quick before we start, I forgot to mention this in the bonus show where I talked about my trip to China, but I want to give a shout out to our buddy Greg, who spends most of his time in Cambodia, but who happened to be staying just a few blocks from my hotel in Shanghai.
Nice.
Yeah, longtime listener of the show. And so we met up at McDonald's for a coffee and walked around a little bit. So always cool to meet listeners in different cities. And shout out to Greg. And
McDonald's, American soft power in Shanghai.
Yeah, it was his suggestion. I said, let's get a coffee. And he said, I've noticed that Shanghai doesn't really have a coffee culture, big one. So he's like, honestly, the best coffee I found is at McDonald's. So let's go there.
That's great.
That's where
Love it. Love it.
We're loving it. We were loving it. All right. On this episode, we are going to respond to something that you may have seen online recently. And that is all of those AI-generated action figures for people, countries, jobs, identities, celebrities, and random stereotypes, many of which that I saw on my socials media were for Thailand. So, to have a bit of lighthearted fun this week, we thought we'd discuss some of the more popular ones we've seen, talk about whether it's accurate or not, and maybe even pick our favorite. And of course, at the end, we will discuss our own action figures, which we got AI to create as well. So, Ed, you saw these going around like I did. What was your first thought when you started seeing them going around everywhere?
I got to say, some of them I think are pretty funny. That's why we wanted to do the show, to kind of critique. Some of them are, I think, a little bit lame, but a few of them, there's some insight going into them. There's really two things going on. The first thing is just knowing the stereotype. So we've done our own show on expat stereotypes or Thai stereotypes. So you need knowledge of Thailand and Thai culture and expat culture first. And then the next level is, does the AI capture that? Like, is this a good representation? So listeners out there, this is going to be a little bit of a tricky show. If you are audio only, you're going to have to listen to our descriptions of the AI generated images. But we will put the images on the website so you can actually check the images you want. But these are also very easily Googleable. So we will talk about the image, and then you could always Google action figure, whichever one it is, expat in Phuket or whatever it is. You could probably find it that way. But mostly we're going to be describing images that we're looking at ourselves. And then both Greg and I took the trouble to mess around and create our own figures. And so we'll talk about those last.
Well, you did that, and I've got to say I'm quite happy how mine turned out. He's a little bit more ripped than I am, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it actually turned out pretty well considering I didn't actually use a photo of you. It was just a description.
There's not a lot to go with. Bald man with goatee. That's pretty much all there is. So let's go through here. We've got 9 to go through here, and we're just going to go through and talk about what they're called and the little accoutrements, the extras that the action figure comes with.
That's right.
And let me just start with the first one here. This one is called Pattaya Old Boy, and it's a photo of a Farang man with a balding head, Songkran style Hawaiian flower shirt open.
Right. He's got the flip flops. He's got the flip flops, the green cargo shorts, bit of a paunch. And what do you think? Do you think it's an accurate representation of the traditional? I got to say, I think this is actually one of the better ones because he's kind of middle-aged and above, so he's balding. He's got the belly. He's got, I'm not sure, it's a good question. Are kind of those Hawaiian style shirts, are they that popular outside of Songkran? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised being in a beach town. And then, of course, the flip-flops. And then most of the action figures have 3 items with them. Some of them have more than 3. But his 3 items are a Chang shirt, a Chang beer, and then an ATM machine. Now, so I think that's not bad. I think Chang shirts are quite popular with the retired old dudes in Pattaya. Chang beer is cheap, so I like that. A lot of these guys they're pensioners or they're guys on a limited budget, so they tend to find happy hours. Now the ATM, is that implying that the ATM is there for like bar girl money? I'm not sure exactly what the ATM is supposed to mean.
I got some insight into that.
Maybe so. What do you think the ATM is supposed to symbolize?
Well, I think this is actually pretty smarter than it at first appears, because this is a Kasakan ATM because it's green and red. I think Kasakans are red, green and white.
Green and red. That's right. That's right. That's correct.
But you've probably seen it. There's a very famous, I'm not famous, but it's a very
the meme
often used photo that someone took of a nameless Farang guy standing at a Kasakan ATM with a Thai girl on either side of him waiting for him to get money out.
With 2 Thai girls. Okay, so it is, at least I was on the right track with like the bar girl implication. You're right. Yeah. That is a very famous photograph.
So it is actually pretty insightful, and
it is. Yeah. So I got to say, although we are dealing with stereotypes. This is not. Yeah. We're not saying this applies to every old guy in Pattaya. So if you are an old guy in Pattaya, we know this is. This might be you. This might hit close to home, or it might not.
Say stereotypes come from somewhere. It's like when someone says, "Don't judge a book by its cover." I'm like, "That's what covers are for. That's the whole reason for having a cover, to judge what the book is about."
That's right. I got to say, this is, I think, one of the better ones. I think these guys really exist. This is not a theory. It's not a myth.
That's right. You want to take the next one?
Sure. If I can get my internet working here. Okay, next one is a bit generic, but again, I actually like this one too. It's called Content Creator in Thailand. Again, listeners, if you're audio only, you could Google this, and I think you'd be able to find it. So if you Google action figure Thailand, ChatGPT, content creator, you'd get this one. And so this one is kind of a generic looking Farang guy, but he's got the elephant pants, so that's a thumbs up. That's a box checking thing. Yeah. He's got a vlogging camera that looks like some type of DJI, like pocket thing, which is very accurate. So these things are very popular.
It's a pretty good little depiction of a
like a small little camera you hold on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thumbs up. And then you got to love the toasty. So it's got a ham and cheese toasty, which I'm a huge fan of. Of course, I don't eat ham, but the ham and cheese toasty is, I think, classic Farang food, classic Farang 7-Eleven food. And what is the last thing? Is that the nose stuff? What is that?
Yeah, it's the green jar of what do they call it? Yadom, the stuff that you hold up to your nose and
because unlike Shanghai, we have a lot of car pollution and bad smells in Bangkok.
That's right.
So what do you think? I think this is another good one. I like the toasty. The toasty, that's a nice touch.
I think it's pretty accurate because in recent months and even before that, I've seen many videos on Instagram and other places that the content creators have done. And it's like, the popular one is when you show up in Thailand, and it shows a guy holding a suitcase getting off the plane, and he's running, and then he runs out of the airport, and then it cuts to him running down Sukhumvit, and then it cuts to him running down a soy, and then it cuts to him running into a 7-Eleven, and then you see his hand outstretched, and it goes through a few aisles, and then goes right up to the toasty section.
Oh, that's great! I've never seen that.
Toasty.
I love it. That that could be me. Like some nights when I'm hungry, and I'm on my way home, that's me like running into 7-Eleven to get the toasties. And the elephant pants are perfect. We've talked about how they have oddly become almost a fashion statement among Thais, but they're still popular with Farangs. So I got to go thumbs up on the content creator. The mini little DJI or the mini little vlogging camera is well done. It's a good touch.
Good one. I like it. Thumbs up.
All right, number 3.
The third one I thought was a little bit, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Ooh, this is my favorite one.
Really? I thought
this might be my number one. We'll give our number ones later, but anyway, so you explain what we're looking at.
Well, this one is just a pink package, and it doesn't look like it has a doll. Actually, the action figure looks.
It's more like an image, but right,
drawing, yeah,
right.
But it's just called Ploy,
right?
And so the images of a cute girl with a couple of decorations in her hair, suspenders, a skirt, tattoos on both of her arms. And then the 3 little accessories that she's got in her package are a phone with a smashed, cracked screen.
I love it.
A Louis Vuitton, what is probably a knockoff Louis Vuitton purse, and a little buffalo with a Band-Aid on his head and a thermometer in his mouth, a little sick buffalo.
Okay, I got to say, I kind of like this one. The name Ploy is very, very common. I'm going to guess I've spent a little more time in the red light districts than you have over the years. I've been single for many years, not that I hang out there a lot. But the name Ploy is super common, or I would say, statistically, I'm not sure. I feel that nicknames such as Noke and Ploy are super common.
Yeah, very common.
Like there's tons of noise out there, a million, or tons of Nokes out there. Nokes and Ploys are the most common. So Ploy is okay. And the way she's dressed is pretty common for like a beer girl or bar girl, whatever you want to call it. Those devil horn things, that's a touch. That's something that is a pretty common thing.
Oh,
and
really?
those arm tattoos, it's like a thing you stretch over your arms. So they're not real.
Right.
So that's why it's got like the red. See, clearly you haven't spent as much time in these places as I have. These are like the stretchy things on your arms.
Right. Okay.
And then I happen to be a big fan of that the phone screen is cracked. That's like a good. That's what I'm talking about. Like to make this meme work, you actually need knowledge. You need cultural knowledge. So the cracked phone screen, that is a thing. Not all girls, but it's common. These girls work in these bars. Obviously, they don't have that much money, so sometimes their screen gets cracked and they just can't afford a new one. Yeah. So a surprising number of them have broken screens. And then that particular brown purse there's millions of them in Thailand. Yeah. Even some of my students, like the fake Louis Vuitton brown like plasticky purse. There's millions of them in this country.
I think they're so fugly. I don't know why anyone likes them, but
I don't like them. Now, actually, the thing I like least about it is the little sick buffalo. Now, this is supposed to be, listeners, I'm sure most of you know this, but if you don't, you need to know it because it's part of Thai lore, expat Thai lore.
Yeah.
And the idea is you meet a Thai girl in a bar and eventually she asks you for money because her family's buffalo is sick.
Right. It's
that's the old myth. Like, it's not really a myth, but the reason I don't like it is is it really a thing still? I feel like this is a thing from the 90s. My family's buffalo is sick. I feel it's a bit ridiculous now.
Dude, that's what I think whenever I hear someone getting ripped off by a gem scam or a suit scam.
You're like, are people still doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually the little buffalo character is kind of cute. He's got a thermometer in his mouth like he's sick. So I don't know how they convinced ChatGPT to put a sick buffalo in there. This is if they use ChatGPT, it worked pretty well. So overall, I think we're 3 out of 3. I think this is an accurate stereotype. This is an accurate stereotype.
I think it's accurate. It's a little bit. I think it's bordering on sort of like lame / offensive, but it comes from somewhere. Yeah, I think it's.
Well, she's got a nice smile. She has a nice smile.
Yeah, and as a bit of a side note here, man, flying back from Shanghai, I turned on the old Rush Hour movies with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, and I watched the first one. And it was fun, a nice little nostalgic throwback. But the second one, where they go to Hong Kong, dude, and I am not some like social justice warrior, ultra left wing.
You're not a super sensitive,
right?
Dude.
Like, yeah, but man, the Asian stereotypes and jokes in that movie were so bad. I had to turn it off. I was like, this is just not because I was offended, just because it was so lame. But God.
I remember seeing an outtake from either the first or second movie, and Jackie Chan is making fun of Chris Tucker because he can't say one word in Chinese, and it's just gold. Because Jackie Chan, he's got decent English, but with still an accent, and I think Chris Tucker was like teasing him for his accent, and Jackie Chan is like, dude, you can't say one word in my language. And then he's trying to get him to say one word in Chinese, and it's just horrible. It just shows you how Anglo-centric the world is.
Yeah, totally. But if you want a sort of a cringy throwback to how things were 20 years ago, check out Rush Hour 2.
The pre-woke era. Era. Okay, number 4. This one, I think, is a little bit lame. I see where they're going, but this is the first one I think is under executed. So
it's a bit simplistic.
This one is Chiang Mai Expat. They've failed to create a proper dial. Once again, it's kind of an image. I see where they're going. So the Chiang Mai Expat is a guy standing there. He's got like a MacBook in his hand, which I guess is fairly accurate. You got a lot of digital nomads. Yeah. He's wearing a mask. Oh, that's a little bit of a good insight because Chiang Mai does have bad air.
Yeah, totally.
So that's a little bit of okay. So that's a good localization thing.
Yeah. He's
got a backpack. And then the 3 objects appear to be, an inhaler. I guess that's another call out to the bad air.
I think that's pretty good actually, an inhaler, yeah.
It's funny because I have an inhaler because I have allergies. So when I first saw this, I was thinking, how do we know he's got allergies? Is that a stereotype? That the Chiang Mai expats have allergies? But I guess that's another call out to the air. Then the other thing is supposed to be a little bit of a book, and it says startup ideas, which I guess is a reference to digital nomads.
Yeah, and I've had a little bit of exposure to the digital nomad scene in Chiang Mai, and it is hardcore, man. Like,
yeah.
Yikes.
Everyone's got plans for making millions online.
Yeah, totally.
How you too can teach other people how to make millions online.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I guess the third thing is supposed to be Bitcoin. Like, I'm not sure what is it an image of.
It looks like a water bottle for a bicycle, but with a Bitcoin logo on it.
Yeah,
maybe it's like merch for like your friend's latest.
Oh, that's a good
coin.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's an interesting thing. Maybe it's crypto coin swag or something.
Yeah.
So this one, it's not bad. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh on it. It's teasing the digital nomad. So if you listen, I know we got some listeners in the digital nomad community. This one might sting. It might sting a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like it's just not executed as well as the others. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's the seeds of good ideas are there, but I think mostly whatever AI generated it didn't do a very good job in generating.
Yeah, because like a book of startup ideas doesn't make sense. I think they had trouble how to visualize the startup thing. But I would say okay. Not
bad.
horrible.
Not bad. Yeah. All right, moving on to the fifth one. This one made me laugh. This one is called White Guy in Pai. Pai, but it's actually pronounced Bai. But, the little town up in Mae Hong Son province that's gotten a lot of press lately.
Right.
And it's a dude wearing, this one really looks like an action figure. He's even got the little joint connectors on his arms.
True action
his
figure.
ankles. And he's wearing elephant patterned pants, although not the traditional elephant pants that we're more familiar with. He's shirtless. He's got a lot of muscles. He's got blonde dreadlocks.
That's pretty accurate, I think.
Pretty accurate. And he's got two little accessories with him. One is an old style acoustic guitar, and the other one appears to be sort of an elephant mask.
I don't know what that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So this one, I think, is also a somewhat of a failure. It's. I feel like it's kind of half finished. Like they should have done more iterations. So number one, I like the white dreads. I like the fact that he's kind of ripped. I think I talked about this a few years back when I did some Muay Thai. I was down in Gao Dao. There's a community of dudes who are, on the one hand, they're kind of hippies, but on the other hand, they're into fitness. So it's a little bit where normally you don't think of hippies as like into fitness, but there is an expat that is like these like yoga dudes, or they do jujitsu. So they're kind of ripped, but they're huge stoners.
Okay.
They're like tatted up, ripped hippies. And to me, I connected with that. Like I can relate to these guys. And so I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to capture that. So the acoustic guitar is perfect for Pi. It's like classic artist enclave. But I don't know what the other thing is supposed to be of. So this might be so insider that we don't even know. So this might be some inside Pi thing. It looks like a mask of like a guy with horns or bangs or something.
Big ears, or it's like an elephant human hybrid or something.
Yeah. So listeners, maybe you can figure out White Guy in Pi. So I see where they're going. It's got some partial. I would call this a partial success. It's kind of half baked. Good
one. Yeah, exactly. Half baked idea.
They needed some more iterations. Okay, number six.
Number 6.
Oh, this one I like. It's called British Lad in Phuket. And this guy is kind of slim and trim, younger dude, which makes sense. He's shirtless, which is pretty classic. I always feel weird when I see foreigners without shirts, even though, if you're close to the beach or on the beach, all right. But if you're walking down, a row of bars, it's not really a Thai thing to only foreigners do that.
Put a shirt on.
That's right. So
read the room.
That's right. Read the room. And he's got the fanny pack, which it's funny, or something like a fanny pack. It's not quite a fanny pack. It's kind of a strap. And I think that is a younger guy thing.
Yeah, well, you see that on all the Thai street vendors and stuff. Like the fanny pack, except it's going, around their shoulder, around their torso.
That's right.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's very accurate. I've seen that a million times.
Yeah. And there's a sign for Bangla Road, which is like the main strip. And then you're going to have to help me out with this stuff. There is a suspicious-looking white powder in a little packet. And that, I'm guessing that might be accurate. So I'm not sure exactly what the white powder is supposed to represent, but I think that's not inaccurate.
You're the more social one of us than I am. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. A lot of people come to Phuket to let off some steam, and sometimes that includes a little bit of stimulants.
Yeah, some party drugs. Yeah, and then what else do we got here?
They've also got that specific hat.
Yeah, like the cap.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I know what it's trying to represent. I think it's trying to represent sort of, I'm probably dating myself here, but like rave culture or dancing. And it's like a black cap with a brim that sort of comes down over the eyes and goes.
That's right.
Right around your head.
I think that's accurate. I mean, I have no idea if that's still a thing or how hip it is now. What's the thing on the bottom supposed to be?
It looks like, I was going to say it's a water bottle, but now I look at the cap. I think it's eye drops.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Okay, so like a drug. Yeah. So if you're a British lad in Phuket, we apologize, but this is strongly implying the ingestion of party drugs and the attempt to hide such ingestion, I think.
Oh, and I just looked up the script on the little eye drop bottle says Mayro, Mayro, but I typed that into Google and it gives me a brand of eye drops called Muro.
So, I see. So it's okay. I didn't know anything about that. Okay, yeah. So this is partying British lads in Phuket. I'm going to guess it's not my world. I'm guessing this is fairly accurate. I wouldn't say it's super insightful. So to me, this is kind of middling, but not inaccurate.
It's not inaccurate, but it's not particularly clever either.
Agreed. Kind of on the nose. Nose. All right, number 7. This one is a bit dark. It's Soy 6 bar manager. So I'm guessing this is a reference to Pattaya Soy 6. So I think Soy 6 in Pattaya is often considered kind of the center of the seediness. There's a lot of seediness in Pattaya, but I think Soy 6 is often considered the epicenter. I was thinking Bangkok Soy 6. I'm like, what's on Soy 6? There's condos. This is supposed to be Pattaya Soy 6, but this is supposed to be the bar manager guy. So he looks like he is a Farang guy who looks like he hasn't slept in days or is extremely hungover. And he's kind of tatted up. He's got a T-shirt that says Night Wish, which I guess is supposed to imply that could be a bar name.
Or it could be there's a really awesome operatic metal band from Norway called Night Wish.
Okay, that could be true. Cool. That's the positive thing. And then the 3 things that he's got, which are a little bit sketchy. One thing is a bottle of Stangsom, which I guess is that's probably accurate. Cheap whiskey, popular with foreigners, and then some pills that are labeled azithromycin, which is an antibiotic. So,
is it okay?
Yeah. Sure. And then what is the middle thing? Just a credit card?
Looks like a credit card. Yeah. And it says the name on it is E Beggar Crow or something like that. But the middle one is Beggar.
I don't know what that means. Maybe it's supposed to indicate that he's hitting the ATM or he's living on credit, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. To me, the whole vibe of this one just screams guy who got in way over his head with an investment in Pattaya.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Guy, in over his head would be a good way to put it. He looks like he's barely holding on, but he's got the thumbs up. I actually like his thumbs up. This one again, I'm going to go middling. It's a bit depressing. This is the darker side of the expat world, but again, not totally inaccurate.
I also do like the touch too. I think it was a mistake on the AI. Like he's wearing sandals and socks, but his toes are sticking out of the end of the sandals. So his socks only cover his like shins and his heels, but not his toes.
That's funny.
That's good. All right, going on to the next one, number 8. This one is called White Girl on Koh Phangan.
I like this one.
It's pretty good. It shows just an average looking girl with brown hair. She's wearing a blue bikini, blue elephant pants. She's got a tattoo of what looks like an elephant on her left arm.
The bikini top with the elephant pants and the bare feet on the beach.
Classic.
And then maybe the pearl necklace. She looks like she's kind of got dreads, almost a little bit.
Almost.
So I like this depiction.
Yeah.
And what are the objects?
The 3 little the accoutrements she has with her from top to bottom: a yoga mat, a purple crystal, which
is kind of a new age thing.
Yeah. I used to have a friend here that one time she was super into Reiki, and she put this crystal in my hand, and she's like, "Can't you feel the vibrations?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "You can't feel that?" And I'm like, "No, it's a rock." And she got really mad at me. She thought I was lying.
Oh, funny. And
the last thing is a bowl, a brass bowl, which I guess is like a meditation bowl.
That's right. Yeah, I think so. So essentially this is new age yoga girl on Phangan. So I think this is accurate. I think the flaw in this one is the 3 items all relate to the same theme. So the superior ones, the 3 things are each different. So this is essentially yoga / new age chick on Phangan, which is a thing. So, I mean, actually all the islands are super popular with yoga people, yoga chicks, yoga dudes. So I think this is accurate. but it's a bit kind of one note. Like
It's a bit boring.
Yeah, it's like the last one. It's kind of on the nose.
Yeah. All right, and the last one, what's going on?
Ooh, last one I like just because it's so cute. So this relates to a popular meme, and this is another thing you can Google. So if you Google this, you might see the original meme, or then you might see this action figure doll based on it, and it just says Thai street sweeper, and it's a picture of a very cute girl dressed as a Thai street sweeper. And what this refers to is apparently a real Thai street sweeper that became a viral kind of star because she happens to be very pretty with like a super cute smile.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's basically a Thai worker, or literally a street sweeper, who then became, I don't know if she became a hit on Instagram or TikTok. That's not my world. But so the items here include makeup, a camera, which I guess indicates that she is a viral star, and then a red dress. So maybe in her Instagram role, she's kind of dressed up, dolled up, I guess is what you're trying to say.
There's actually a bit more subtext here too, and the story behind this woman who was found, on the streets, sweeping streets. Some guy took her photo and uploaded it to some social media, and people were commenting about how beautiful she was, and it kind of took off. Yes. Then she was photographed by like this super famous Thai photographer who dolled her up and like.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You like put her in like a costume, like all this cool makeup and like a sultry dress and stuff like that.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. So she got like a real gig, a solid modeling gig from it.
Yeah, and the last I read about it which was about a week ago now as of recording, but like she had quit her job as a street sweeper and she was pursuing this like modeling thing now.
Oh, awesome! I did not know that. I didn't know this actually led to her hitting it big. So this is good. We're promoting her. We want her to succeed. We want her to hit it big.
Right. So if you go on Google and just search like Thai street sweeper professional model or something like that, you'll come up with the story and see her photos. But yeah, that's what it's referencing. And then the little camera. And then there's one of the other little accoutrements things here is looks like a stick. Don't know what that is.
Maybe I don't know what that is.
Mistake of the AI. Maybe a stick so she can just like whack away all the men who are going to be chasing her now.
Yeah, that's right.
She's a model.
But I got it, overall, so we did 9 different ones. They're honestly not bad. They're not bad. These are the kinds of stereotypes that you and I might talk about on a show. This has some knowledge. I would say at least half of them have funny little insights. And I don't know why, but I'm kind of tickled by the ploy one so it just has, I think, funny little twist that it's got some insider knowledge.
Yeah,
a few of them have insider knowledge.
I agree. And I got to say, my favorite is probably the Soy 6 bar manager, simply because the look on the guy's face, like this poor guy just says his life has just beaten him down so
he's got
thoroughly.
Thumbs up. He's got a thumbs up. I like that.
He's like, I can still do this. This is living the dream, even though I got to take penicillin and medicate with Sangsong.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty funny. Now, to finish it off, Ed and I also went in there and we got put our AI skills to use, and we made action figures of ourselves.
That's right. We try to be as specific as possible. Now, in my case, I had used my AI to create a custom character of me by uploading 20 pictures of myself. So my action figure actually looks like almost a photo of me.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't look like a doll. It looks like you've been shrink wrapped.
That's right. So it's not perfectly accurate, but it is identifiable as me. Whereas when I created Greg's, I just typed in a description of him as opposed to having an actual picture.
Bowling ball with goatee.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. So these will make sure listeners, you guys have access to. So why don't I describe yours and then you can describe mine?
Oh, good idea. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Greg action figure. It says Farang podcaster with action figure on the top, shrink wrapped, and you see a gentleman in a black t-shirt, which is very Greg.
Very accurate.
Cargo shorts, which that's a Greg thing. Now, is it always? It is a Greg thing, I guess.
Whenever I can do it, yes. Cargo shorts.
And then, of course, flip flops or sandal type things, which you and I are both big on it. This is one of the advantages of living in Thailand.
Sure.
And then the 3 objects are perfect. Now, we didn't get the particular microphone I wanted. Greg's a fan of these big condenser microphone type things. But we do have a podcaster type mic there with a mic stand. Yeah. So I like that effect.
It's gigantic. It's about as tall as I am.
Yeah. And we've got some comic books, which is a callback to Greg's upbringing and his identity as a comic book fan and movie fan.
Nerd.
And then the third thing is did a pretty good job on the Tim Hortons coffee cup.
Yeah, I think it sums me up pretty well. I like talking into microphones, reading comics, and dealing with pop culture.
That's right.
Sucking down some Timmies. Yeah.
And plus the guy is more ripped. I got to be straightforward, more ripped than you really are. So you got a positive interpretation.
Hey man, if you get an action figure made of you, I would be like, hey guys, can you just like make it a little bit slimmer? I mean, this is my one chance to immortalize myself.
All right, now you can talk about mine. I kind of look like a zombie or something. My arms are like strangely stiff and sticking out.
I think it's pretty good. So this one also says Farang Podcaster on the top, and it's a basically Ed with his arms sticking out.
It looks like a miniaturized version of me. Right?
Yeah, you're wearing Chucks, which I don't think you wear Chucks, do you?
I do wear jeans, but it's not. Oh, you mean Chucks, the shoes? Yeah,
the shoes. Yeah.
I think I typed in black tennis shoes because that's what I wear every day. I wear all black tennis shoes, and I typed into the AI all black, but it doesn't catch all the details. So so the shoes are not totally accurate.
Okay, and then you're wearing blue jeans, and then you're wearing a gray T-shirt that says Blues Bar across it, which I think is very accurate.
Yeah, I couldn't get I couldn't get it to put the name of the bar. Like I said, AI is very odd. You type in a paragraph with a lot of specific details, and then it gets about half of them.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm glad it says Blues Bar. It didn't get the name of the bar, but
right. And now your 3 little items that come with the action figure are a bottle of maple syrup, because you're a big fan of maple syrup. I mean, I guess I should have probably been mine because I'm Canadian, but you still love your maple syrup.
I talk about it more than you do, man.
You might have a point. The second one is what looks to me like a pipe for smoking various herbs and
with some suspicious looking green plant material.
I guess so. Yeah, a little pipe. It looks like the pipe that what's his name pulls out in Inglourious Basterds, the gigantic grandpa pipe.
Yeah, it's not really a proper. It's not really the type of pipe I would normally use, but I like it. It's got a little bit of style.
Panache. And the bottom one, I don't really get this one, but it's a passport.
Oh,
you are famously a non-traveler.
No, the passport is there. This was on my mind because on the show last week, I was talking about being a rule of law guy, and I said I actually carry my passport with me everywhere I go.
Oh, I see. Okay,
remember that?
Right.
So this is so listeners, you've heard a lot about my penchant for following the law, but I think it was only recently that I outed myself as a passport carrier.
Yeah. Okay. That's very specific to a specific show. But
that's right. This is some insider stuff.
That's funny.
I do think the fact that it looks like a real miniature me. Mine is much spookier than yours. Like yours looks kind of fun. Mine is clearly plastic, but yours. Mine looks like I've been embalmed.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. We'll put those on the website underneath this episode's show notes, and of course, we'll send them out to patrons in the patron email as well.
For sure.
I think there's some good stuff in there.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, let's get into some love, loathe, or live with, where one of us picks a particular aspect of living in Bangkok, which we then discuss to decide if it's something we love about living here, loathe about living here, or have come to accept as something that we just have to learn to live with, no matter how we feel about it. Ed, ball's in your court. What do you got?
Okay, this is something you're definitely going to be aware of. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember talking about it before. We might have mentioned it a little bit, but this is something that just happened to me, so it's stuck in my head. So I want to ask you about the neighborhood vendors. I feel that they're often selling fruit or vegetables, seems to be the most common thing. Okay. But they will go up and down your soy with a megaphone. announcing what they have. And this just happened to me very recently where they woke me up.
Okay.
Like coming down, because I have a very narrow soil. I'm not on a normal soil. I'm on like a little bit of an alley, and it actually dead ends. So you're like when they come down my street, it's right outside my window. Now it's not actually right outside my bedroom window, but from my bedroom I can easily hear what's going on outside my window.
Right.
And listeners out there, these are basically hawkers, but they often have like megaphones, and it's fairly loud.
Yeah, I don't mind the noise. Actually, to be honest, I kind of quite like them. I wouldn't say I love them, but
have you ever bought one thing? I think in 25 years, I can't remember. I do sometimes buy fruit on the street, but have you ever heard at one of these hawkers on the megaphone, and then you're like, oh, they're selling fruit, and you run down and buy like it's the ice cream truck.
Yeah, right. Like, I need a broom, or I need a tomato.
Yeah. You're right. Brooms are another common one. Am I wrong? I feel that like fruit or vegetables seems to be the most common.
Yeah, but no, I don't mind them. I think they're quite cool. And they just remind me that I'm living in exotic Asia and that I'm not at home. So I don't find them too loud, and I quite enjoy the fact that they remind me that of this sort of like side economy that exists in Thailand where you're dealing stuff on the street.
Okay. I would not say I'm a hater, but maybe because I just never utilize them or I never buy anything.
Yeah.
I just tend to have a negative impression because it's another example of, we have talked before about the Thai penchant at markets to play music too loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel that these megaphones, whatever they're using, I don't know what it is. It's not really a megaphone. It's someone with speakers and a microphone, I think.
Yeah.
To me, it's just too damn loud.
Yeah, sometimes it can be not pleasant, especially when they got a bad quality one turned up too high and it's very.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it'll be crackling and tinny or feedbacking.
Yeah, it sounds like an airport PA, like.
That's right. So I got to be honest here. As we said last week, Love, Loathe, or Live With is about my emotions. So I got to say, I'm a mild loathe.
I'm a mild love.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
But you're right. My attitude should be that, hey, this is just a quirky aspect of Bangkok. That should be my attitude.
I also wouldn't mind if they turned down their speakers a little bit. Wouldn't take any of the quirkiness away.
That's true. That. Alrighty. A final thanks to our patrons who support the show. Patrons get a ton of cool perks and the warm fuzzy feeling knowing that they're helping in our never-ending quest for cool content. Find out more by clicking support on our website. And connect with us online. We're Bangkok Podcast on social media, bangkokpodcast.com on the web, or simply bangkokpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from our listeners and always reply to our messages.
That's right. You can listen to each episode on YouTube. Send us a voicemail through our website that we'll feature on the show. Hit me up on Blue Sky at BKK Greg. Thank you for listening, everyone. Happy Songkran. And we'll see you back here next week.
No doubt.
Oh, speaking of cheating, I've got my Kyoto underglove here for my archery.
I was going to say, I saw you messing around with that, and I'm thinking, like, is that a masturbation glove? What?
No,
is that a hygienic? I was thinking, is this some super hygienic masturbation glove that he's busting out while you're on a call with me?
It's the underglove that you wear underneath your real glove to stop the sweat from getting into the real glove.
Oh, okay.
But you're supposed to just kind of wrap it around your thing, but I'm putting in some Velcro patches here to make it a bit.
Underglove, it still sounds sexual in some way. Like underwear.
You're thinking of
underglove.
You're thinking of underlove. Different.
It's another kind. It's a different kind of love.
That's right. All right.